Hello and welcome to the new video. This will be a tutorial how to build apartment buildings in The Sims 2. With the recent re-release of this legacy title, I hope this guide will be helpful for some of you. And although building an apartment is not super complicated, there are some restrictions and recommendations about what to do and what to not do, and I will try to explain all of it in this video. If you find this video helpful, please consider to subscribe to my channel because it's free and it helps me to grow. And now let's start. If you want to build an apartment building, you have to start on a standard residential lot. For the purpose of this video, we will use an empty lot, but you can also convert existing building to apartment building. But I will talk about that later in the video, how to do that and what you have to bear on your mind. So we are starting on an empty lot and now we will have to create the shell of our building. Use regular tools just like if you were building a normal house. We can use foundations or build directly on the ground. It is better to think about the layout in advance because we will need to create public area and also the apartments. For any type of building and any type of game of The Sims, I generally recommend building smaller buildings because I feel like huge complex can be really overwhelming and it's much harder to furnish it and design it quite well. Start smaller and just get used to tools and everything. Let's talk about the number of floors that one apartment building can have. Without using cheats, you can build up to 5 levels where the last level is reserved for the roof, or you can build a terrace there instead of roof, so technically it's 4 floors. In case that your building will have a basement, you will be allowed to build 3 floors above the ground level and the roof. But there is a cheat which came out with the University expansion pack, and this cheat will allow you to build higher. If you want to unlock extra floors, you will need to be in your neighborhood, not on your residential lot. When you are in the neighborhood view, open the cheat console, and if you don't know how to do it, it's holding down together CTRL SHIFT C. It will open the console as you can see in the video. And then we will type there this cheat, set highest allowed level altogether, space, and then we will have to put number there, where number that you will input means how many floors you will be allowed to build. I do not recommend to put anything higher than 14 because if you will build 15 and more levels, it will cause your game crash. So one more time, to change the amount of the floors that you can have in your building, open the cheat console with CTRL SHIFT C and then type set highest allowed level space 10, for example, when 10 will mean 10 floors, and then press enter. And then when you will go back to your residential lot, you will be allowed to build higher than 5 floors, or technically 4 plus roof. But as I said before, keep this low because first of all, it looks ugly when you go super tall, and second, it can cause your game crash and behave weird. So once you are finished building a shell of the building and all your floors, we will build the interior walls and decide where will be the public area, stairs, and eventually elevators. Let's say I want to create 6 units which will be individual apartments. You can only have 4 different Sims or families at one apartment building that you can play with, and if there is more than 4, it will be occupied by townies. I will use the wall tool and create all the units I want. Keep on your mind that if there is a wall which is shared with another apartment, for example like this one in the video, there will be a noise distribution through that particular wall, so if there is any loud Sim on the other side of the apartment, your Sim will know it. The noise doesn't carry through different floors, it only carries through common walls, so if there is one wall that 2 apartments share, that is the wall that will possibly distribute the noise to your apartment. Now let's design each unit and build interior walls there. It's not recommended to enclose areas inside of the apartment with short step-over fences, like this one that you can see. Do not use that. In apartments, this behaves as a wall, although it doesn't look like it, so avoid this because your Sims will not have access to that area. It will behave like a room with no door. I understand that it may look nice if you will use this step over fence because it seems like you will divide, for example, kitchen from the living room, but trust me, don't use that because it will not behave as you expect. Now, when we design the units with walls, we will have to place an entrance to each unit. This is a very important part of the build because here are some restrictions. To separate apartments from each other, you can only use one type of the door and it's called unique separator. Any other door will not work. You will also have to place it correctly with a doormat facing outside of the apartment, as I'm showing you in the video. Every apartment must have only one unique separator door leading in and out from the apartment. The only exception is the garage door. Let's say you will build townhouse apartments and you will build garage which belongs to each apartment. Or potentially it looks like a house, but we will have it as an apartment unit. That is the only exception where there is another doorway leading to the apartment and it will not cause issues. If you will place any other door leading in and out, the apartment won't work, and you will know it once you will try to change the lot to apartment. Apartments can have stairs inside, so you can have multi-level apartments, but it's not recommended to create split stairs or stairs with landings within the apartments. And again, make sure if you have multi-level apartments, there is only one unique separator as the entrance and no more doors except of the garage per unit. You have to be also careful when placing the interior doors. You can use any doors inside of the unit except of unique separator, Bon Voyage solidity door, and University's mine door. Avoid those because the apartment would not be functional if you place any of them inside. If you want, you can create balcony, terrace, or yard, but following the restriction about only one entrance, you cannot create an entrance here either. For example, I will create a yard for this apartment on the ground floor. We have to make sure that it's completely enclosed and there is no entrance from the public area. I can't place any gate here leading to the public area because that would cause my apartment to be invalid. The same goes for the terrace or balcony. You can have a terrace, but there cannot be a connection to the ground level with the stairs which will lead to the public area. Keep on your mind, only one entrance to each apartment unit is allowed, and that is also applicable to any outside areas. Now let's talk about the public area. If your apartment building has multiple levels, don't forget to place stairs, elevators, or both. You can place elevator in a public area, but you cannot place them inside of the apartment units. That would cause the apartment building to be invalid. When creating a public or communal area, as it's called sometimes, think about the space and make sure there's enough of room for Sims to walk around. Don't clutter the area too much because that could cause invalid roads for Sims and they will not be able to walk around. It's great to include common room where Sims could meet with neighbors and also throw a Saturday's landlord gathering. You can also include pools outside or any kind of activity that you can share with other Sims. And this public area is really great for any objects that you cannot fit into your apartments. And because we are talking about the public area, let's talk about the objects that each apartment building requires. It's the mailbox and a trash can. Those two items are on the lot by default, and because we started at residential lot, the mailbox will look like a standard type of mailbox as you can see here. But once we will change the lot to apartment type of residential lot, it should turn into apartment type of mailbox. You can move mailbox and trash can using Move Objects cheat. If you want to do that, open the cheat console with CTRL SHIFT C and type Move Object space on, press enter. But remember that you have to keep the mailbox and the trash can within common area so all residents can have access to them. You can also include a public phone, but it's not required as long as you will include phones in your apartment. Once you are finished with building, furnishing apartments with the outdoor area and designing the public area, you need to change the type of the lot so game will recognize it as an apartment building. But let me stop here for one more second. I said once you are finished furnishing apartments. You have to remember that if you will rent an apartment with your Sims family, it will be furnished only partially. You will have kitchen and bathroom, but rest of the objects you will have to buy once you move in. Now you may ask, why would you waste your time and furnish apartments? Well, you should always do it because, as I said, you can only move 4 families into the apartments which will be playable, and the rest of apartments will be filled with townies. And they should have furnished apartments, right? I mean, at least give them some essentials. There is also a way how to rent furnished apartment, but you will need to use a cheat for that. So if you want to do it, move Sim or family to the lot with apartments. Once you are there, open the cheat console with CTRL SHIFT C and type pool prop space testing cheats enabled space true, press enter, and then you will have to click first on the door to check out the apartment that you want to rent. And you can see that this apartment is empty except of kitchen and bathroom and some essentials. and you don't see other objects. Once your sim is checking it, hold shift and click on the door and you will see an option to rent furnished apartment. Select that option and voila, it's rented fully furnished. Also, if your sim will move away from the lot, the furniture will be sold and added to your funds. So if you will plan to rent that apartment again, you will have to furnish it again because the stuff will be moved out and it's not gonna be there. Once you're happy with the entire building and surrounding area, you need to switch the lot to the apartment type of lot. As I said before, think twice about this action, because if you want to do any changes to this building later, any major changes will require to move out all of the sims who live there, reverting the lot to the residential one, and then again to apartment type of lot. So if you are happy to continue, open the cheat console again. Hold CTRL SHIFT C and then type change lot zoning space apartment base and press enter. This cheat will also help you to change existing building to an apartment building, but before changing the lot type of existing residential building into apartment one, make sure to design apartment units following all the steps we already talked about, such as unique separator door, and also to design public areas to be accessible, etc. So if you want to change already existing building into apartment one, you will have to use this cheat as well, but it behaves the same way. You have to first design the units and everything, and then you will type this cheat. Now let's use the cheat to change the lot type. If there are any issues or conflicting items, you will get a pop-up window and that will tell you to revert the lot to residential and fix the issue. If there are no issues, you should see that mailbox changed to the apartment type of mailbox. If this didn't happen, make sure you don't have any custom content mailbox in your game, because they are known to cause problems, so it's better to remove them. If you want to change the lot back to residential, because you will have to do it if you want to make any changes to the building, or just because you don't want the apartment there anymore, this is a cheat how to change it. Open the cheat console with CTRL SHIFT C and type change lot zoning space residential and press enter. Don't worry if the mailbox doesn't change back to the standard residential building mailbox. Just save the lot, go back to the neighborhood view and then go back to the lot and it should be fine. After that you can do changes to the building or to the lot itself, and if you want it as apartment again, you will have to use the cheat again to change the lot zoning. Now move in your sim and test the apartment building if everything works as intended. I always recommend to playtest any building to figure out if there are any issues, so make sure that sim can access everything as planned. Now I will repeat the cheats we were talking about, and all of them will require to open cheat console with CTRL SHIFT C. To change the lot to apartment base, you will use the cheat change lot zoning space apartment base, enter. To change the lot to residential, you will use the cheat change lot zoning space residential and press enter. To change the number of levels of your building, you will use the cheat set highest allowed level space and then number, where the number means the level of the floors, and I do not recommend to type higher than 14 because 15 levels and more can make your game crash. To rent furnished apartment, move in the sim into the lot and then use cheat pull prop space testing cheats enabled space true and then press enter. Click on the door and check out the apartment, and then shift click on the door and choose option to rent furnished apartment. I hope this video was helpful and answered your questions. If so, please consider to subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. If you have any more questions or anything you want to share with me, leave me a comment. I have a lot of Sims content on my channel, so have a look around. Thank you for watching and I hope that I will see you in another video. Bye!